I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Rocha, Chodash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Double honors to my elder apostle, Aharawan Ben Yasharal of the Lions Den Camp here in Florida. Shalom to the Sincere Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm Nakar Harab Ben Yasharallah, coming out of the Lions Den Camp of Yasharallah here in Florida. And today I'll be coming out with a lesson. And the title of this lesson is The Waning Strength of Babylon. You know, Big Satan, you know, the whore that sits upon many waters. But the title is The Waning Strength of Babylon. And as I'm gonna read this article, it's kind of long, you know, but I'm gonna read probably all of it, but a vast majority of it. But as you can see, it says here, it says the U.S. military can't build a military anymore, and it says the U.S. military's procurement system is collapsing at a critical moment, exemplified by the failure of the Navy's Constellation class frigate program. It says programs marketed as low risk Constellation M10 Booker KC-46 are suffering massive delays and costs overruns due to a hollowed out industrial base. And we already know who's the culprit for that, President Babylon. But let's continue. It says a live fire demonstration of the Army's newest and most modernized combat vehicle, the M10 Booker, marks the conclusion of the M10 Booker dedication ceremony at Aberdeen Proving Ground in Aberdeen. I don't know what that MD is. I don't, So, but anyways, April 18, 2024. It says the cause: a generation of counterinsurgency focus and bureaucratic inertia has left the U.S. unable to scale production for high-intensity conflict. Why? Because the Lord is draining the strength of Babylon, causing the strength of this place to wane, to fall away. Let's continue. And they're not prepared for high scale or high intensity conflict. It says the Western Salakia Pacific heats up, the U.S. is fielding a force designed for yesterday, while adversaries like China adapt rapidly. And we're seeing that before our very eyes in real time. These other nations are gaining strength in real time, and Babylon, Big Satan, cannot keep up. Let's continue. It says when the Navy's Constellation class frigate, it's a ship, but it's a battleship. It's supposed to be quick in number. But let's continue. It says when the Navy's Constellation class frigate was first announced, it was heralded as the moment when the United States finally escaped the gravitational pull of its own procurement dysfunction. A moderate frigate built on a proven European design, marketed as the ship America could actually build. Instead, the program has been effectively gutted, canceled after massive delays and cost growth, with only the first two ships limping towards completion. So Babylon ain't even been able to put out a fleet of these things. They only have made two of them, and this is a picture of it right here, even though I think that's a 3D picture. But nonetheless, it says what was sold as a low-risk course correction has become one more monument to a system that has forgotten how to turn plans into wholes. You got to think. Babylon America never ever invested in their we're gonna say industrial military uh, uh, programs. And now look, now they scrambling, trying to get things done, trying to make all these things, and guess what? It's just not happening. It's like it's like Babylon America trying to take off running, but their foot slipped. And anybody that ran track or just was just generally a fast runner, they know about that foot slip. When you get ready to take off with all that power, when that foot slip, and guess what? You don't get no traction. So you don't get that powerful quick start off when you get ready to run. And that's what's going on with Babylon, Big Satan. It ain't got the same power that it once had. And it says the Constellation class frigate U.S. Navy image, and this is it right here. Let's continue. It says the Constellation's failure is not an isolated embarrassment. It is a symptom of a deeper rot spreading across the armed forces. So it ain't just the Navy. It is Esau's whole military industrial complex. Let's continue. It says it is a symptom of a deeper rot spreading across the armed forces, one that quietly threatens to hollow out American power at the moment the world is least forgiving of weakness. And that's the truth. That is the truth. These other nations, the Lord is making them stronger, giving them more power to come against Big Satan, Babylon. And these other nations are very much unforgiving of weakness. They see the weakness of this place and they're licking their chops. They waiting to strike. It is what it is. It says what the Navy is experiencing is not confined to the water. The same procurement pathologies now run through the Army, the Air Force, industrial ecosystem. So the whole military industrial complex, everything. It says the M10 Booker, a promising light tank in concept, has already been knocked off course, with the Army terminating low rate production and shelving plans for full rate fielding as budgets, priorities, and requirements lurch in new directions. Other programs show the same pattern: long timelines, spiraling costs, and platforms conceived for threat environments that no longer exist because the level of war has been elevated and is going nuclear. The disease is systemic. The consequences is strategic. It says a military designed for yesterday, and that's how Babylon America is. It is. Their military is designed for back in the 90s. We in 2025, where these other nations like Russia, China, even Venezuela, India, Iran, and all these other countries that have joined BRICS, they're getting powerful by the day, more powerful, Salakia, by the day. And America is being left in the dust. Continuing, it says, for a generation, the United States grew accustomed to fighting the wars it had rather than preparing for the wars that were coming. And that's just the truth. It is what it is. It says the counterinsurgency era lulled Washington into believing that technological superiority would always be available on demand, that industrial capacity would remain elastic, and that the arsenal of democracy would be switched back on whenever needed. Obviously, that ain't true. Things is rapidly changing very, very quick. It says those assumptions are now colliding with reality. The industrial base is thin. The acquisition system is baroque, perverted, weird, it's off. It says the services do not speak to one another in ways that produce integrated modern force design. So everything is an array. It ain't synchronized no more. The Lord has got Big Satan. His Lord has got Ishar or Adawam over here in the west, just all discombobulated. Ain't nothing firing on all cylinders. Let's continue. It says the constellation class sits at the intersection of these failures, compensate for the surface fleet, the retirement of aging cruisers, and the loss of littoral combat ship hulls that never lived up to their billing. A functioning procurement system would have delivered these frigates on time in numbers with a clear role in distributed maritime operations. Instead, the Navy is watching the calendar and hoping the geopolitical clock does not run out first. So these things were supposed to have been in, we'll say what that is, assembly, been built, been ready to go, except now it's not. And now they're just watching the clock, hoping that time doesn't run out before they could get enough made to, we'll say, mount at least a defense. But let's continue. Or go on an offense or counter defense. But let's continue. It says the Army faces its own version of this problem. The M10 Booker was devised as a nimble, survivable answer to the demand for mobile firepower in contested environments, but it has, Salakia, arrived in an era when the character of the land warfare is being rewritten in real time. So yeah, it is what it is. Like, they trying to build all these weapons, but things are happening so fast because the Lord is speeding the times up, speeding up the time. So things are being rewritten and happening in real time. And Aisha Adawam can't keep up. At least over here in the West, they can't keep up. Feet slipping and sliding everywhere. But let's continue. Ain't nothing happening. The U.S. Navy's troubled Zumwalt class destroyers are being revitalized with integration of conventional prompt strike, hypersonic missiles, transforming them into powerful long-range strike platforms. The original class of 32 ships was cut to just 3 after its advanced gun system failed due to exorbitant costs. So you know, went from 32 to 3 after high costs. Now these stealthy $8 billion warships are having their defunct guns replaced with vertical launch tubes for hypersonic weapons. This upgrade will dramatically increase their strike range from a mere 63 miles to over 1,700 miles, making the Zumwalts relevant and formidable assets for deterring adversaries like China in the 21st century. You know, it's just not going to work, but hey, have at it. It says artillery has returned to primacy. Sensors and strike systems are compressing the battle space. Uncrewed systems are eroding traditional concepts of maneuver. Maneuver. Yet the procurement system still behaves as though it has unlimited time to debate requirements rather than field urgently needed capabilities. So it don't matter what these devils do. It ain't meeting. It says the Air Force offers its own cautionary tales. The KC-46 tanker, marketed as a low-risk, proven airframe solution, has spent years hobbled by design flaws and repeated delays. This is the waning strength of Babylon. It says at the same time, Salaki, the T-7A trainer has stumbled through escape system failures and slipped timelines, mirroring the same procurement pathologies now crippling the Constellation class and the M10 Booker. So the weapons that this devil is developing, they're not coming to fruition. The Lord it ain't happening. No matter, every time they build something new, it's stalling out. We're seeing the waning strength of Babylon. We're seeing the Lord make this devil weak in real time. It says the industrial base that isn't there. Okay, we have 15 minutes. It says the deeper problem is no longer simply poor management, it is capacity. The United States cannot build fast enough, cannot scale production rapidly, cannot surge to meet strategic shocks. Shipyards struggle with workforce shortages and obsolete facilities. You got to think. With all this tariff talk and all this tomfoolery, President Babylon has effectively weakened Babylon. It says munitions manufacturing remains brittle. Key components depend on fragile supply chains that tighten whenever the world becomes dangerous. This is why the Constellation program matters so much. It exposes the illusion that the United States can recover shipbuilding capacity through incrementalism. A similar mirage is projected over other programs. So basically, the pride of this devil. Oh, we can do this. We can bounce back. No, America ain't got that bounce back no more. It is what it is. And this is projected over other programs that these Ottawamites over here in the West are trying to put forth. Let's continue. It says the Army expects to modernize its formation even as the industrial base cannot sustain artillery production at the rates demanded by the war in Ukraine. Yeah, here we go with that sugar hot iced tea. The Air Force expects to maintain dominance in air power while relying on procurement cycles that span decades rather than years. Across the services, the gap between ambition and capacity continues to widen. This devil is getting ever weaker. All this is happening at a time when the demands on American power are rising, not shrinking. The Western Pacific is becoming the decisive theater of the century. So this devil done jumped his, President Babylon done jumped his A.W. so-and-so out there in them waters. And the nigga ain't even got enough strength to even do what he doing. And it says Russia's war, and yeah, here we go. Let's continue. And that's a picture of the U.S. Army. What is that? All the men, if I'm not mistaken, just roughly paraphrasing, all the men of your army are as women. Let's continue. It says Iran's expanding network proxies is pulling the Middle East into a recurring crisis cycles. No, it's only Adawam Aisha. In each theater, the United States faces adversaries who are learning faster, building faster, and adapting faster than Washington's procurement bureaucracy can process a change request. And that's all through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. And it is what it is. It's things are happening quick, and guess what? This devil slipping and sliding. He can't get no what it is, stability. Let's continue. It says a military built by committees will not survive the next war. A system that takes 20 years to field a platform in an era when the character of warfare evolves every 3 years will not deliver deterrence, let alone victory. Point blank, period. So it ain't finna, Ottawa finna lose. Period. Okay, let me see how far I got to go. Yeah, it was kind of long, but let's see. It says reclaiming also fixing the problem requires more than tinkering with contracting rules and manufacturers. Yeah, the demands of strategic discipline. Yeah. I guess this the states of inaction. The uncomfortable truth is that the United States is entering a period of global danger with a force designed for a bygone. Yep, that's the truth, for a bygone era, and an industrial base that cannot replace losses fast enough. And that's just the truth. It is what it is. The waning strength of Babylon. The constellation failure illustrates the problem. The Booker, KC-46 and the T-7A cases show that it is not limited to just the Navy. The broader pattern reveals a military drifting towards strategic insolvency, not because talent is lacking or threats are misunderstood. It's because the system responsible for transforming ideas into capability has become its own worst enemy. Great power cannot deter, compete, or fight with paper strength. It needs real ships, real tanks, real munitions, and the ability to build more when the shooting starts. Until Washington confirms the procurement system that no longer delivers these things, America would play a dangerous game, and that's what's going on right now. Why you think President Babylon is over there in the Caribbean seas messing with Venezuela? Ain't ready a lick, but acting and posturing. This ain't no game. Things finna get real. So there you go. It's a pretty long article, but this is the waning strength of Babylon, and this is an article from a day ago. I seen it a few minutes ago, but I guess But anyways, let's continue. Let's get some scriptures. This is Job chapter 18, verse 8. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. So this devil is cast into a net by his own feet. Everything that this devil has done, he is now fallen victim to it. All the tariffs and all that stuff, guess what? Who is it harming? It's not harming these other nations. It's harming Babylon. It's busting up the brigandine of Babylon and causing all kind of problems. That's why they can't get nothing built. And then threats, supposed threats, or the rapidly evolving field of war is changing so fast that Ottawa can't keep up. At least Ottawa over here in the West can't keep up. So now this devil is falling into the same traps that he has set, the same stuff that he has used on these other nations. He is now falling into it. He's walking upon the trap, and guess what? Let's jump down. Verse 10. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. So it's set up. The Lord has set this devil up to fall flat on his face. Verse 12. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. So now this devil doesn't have enough strength to even put up a significant deterrent or even make a credible threat and be taken seriously. This devil, his strength is what? Hunger bitten, in straits, meaning he ain't gonna be able to fight back, and destruction is what is waiting. The Lord's judgment is right there, and this devil is gonna fall victim. Let's continue. Let's go to Psalm 73, because it shows again. Say this devil can't get nothing done, and everything that he tries to get done, it falls through. Well, this is Psalm 73 and 18. It says, surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou castest them down into destruction. This is why this devil can't get nothing going. He's slipping and sliding all over the place. Can't get his footing. Can't get no stability. The Lord has put this devil in a slippery place. A place where this devil can't be solid no more. He can't be steadfast. The Lord has cast this devil down what? Into destruction. Into judgment. Verse 19. How are they brought into desolation as in a moment? They are utterly consumed with terrors, and you can bet your bottom dollar the military industrial complex, they scared. They probably don't even want to fight for real. You know what I'm saying? This is just, this is my speculation. They probably don't even want to fight, but the Lord has brought this devil into desolation. And it has happened in a moment. And again, the ultimate desolation, that's going to really happen in a moment. This devil took over 500 years to get this place how he wanted it. The Lord gonna bust it up in 60 minutes, in an hour. That's a moment to the Lord. That's quick. The Lord gonna bust it up. And this devil is what? Consumed with terrors. Verse 20, as a dream when one waketh, so, O Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image. So when the Lord make his final move, this devil is done. The Lord hates this devil image. He hates his power structure, everything. Everything this devil has built in the earth, the Lord is going to wipe it away, going to get rid of it. This is the waning strength of Babylon. Also the waning strength of Ottawa. Let's continue. Let's go back a few. Let's go to Psalms 37. Come on now. Psalms 37 and 13. Yep, it says 37 and 13. Okay, 37 verse 13. The Lord Yahweh shall laugh at him, for he seeth his day is coming. So the Lord is going to laugh at this devil because why? Because the Lord sees this devil's day coming. That day when this devil will be taken down. When he will fall flat on his face and not be able to do anything about it, but go down. Let's continue. Isaiah 47. Verse 1. Come, sit down, Salaki. Come down, Salaki. Let me read that again. Isaiah 47, verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more, Salaki, be called tender and delicate. So it's time for this place to sit down in the dust. There is no more power for this place. O virgin daughter, this place has not been attacked by, we'll say, war. So virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground. There is no more throne. There is no more power. There is no more ruling. There is no more being we'll say the rulers of the world. It's no more ruling the world in wickedness. It's over. Power structure is done. No more shall thou be what called tender and delicate. This place is not going to be looked at as the great amazing hope or whatever the flying flip phone people used to think about Babylon, America, the golden city, thinking it was just so amazing here, and then get over here and find out that the American dream is a complete nightmare. You know, it is what it is. But let's continue. I'm gonna jump down to verse 5. It said, I'm going to jump down to verse 5. It says, sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms. So sit silent. Get your so-and-so over there in the corner and in the dark somewhere and be quiet. You ain't no longer the life of the party. You're not the center of attention anymore. This place is not the center of attention anymore. O daughter of the Chaldeans. This is another word for Adawam, Basra, Idumea, Babylon, Nineveh. You know, just pair of words that explain Babylon, America in today's time. You know, so sit in the dust, get in the darkness. Well, this place is no more going to be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Babylon is not going to be the place to come to anymore. This ain't the place no more. It is what it is. Let's continue. Jeremiah 51. Verse 25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord Yahweh, which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. So the Lord is against Adawam. The Lord is against the mountain, the power structure of Ishar. Because this devil destroys the whole earth no matter where he goes. He's always effing up. He's as death and hell wherever he goes. He's like the grave. He can't be satisfied. He just want more and more and more and more and more. The nigga never satisfied. So like you be saying it that way, but Ishar is a nigga. He's the original nigga. Give a flying flip phone. But let's continue. The Lord said he's going to stretch out his hand upon this devil and roll him down from the rocks, meaning take him down out of power, burn him out of power, destroy him out of power, kaboom him out of power, and make him what a burnt mountain, a destroyed mountain. There's going to be no more power structure for Ishar / Adawam. Once Babylon, big Satan goes down, you know, this place catch the big boom, pun intended, that beast of destruction. That's it. Ain't no more rulership for Adawam, period. So no matter running into them bunkers, fleeing from the iron weapon, we're gonna go get them. I mean, we're gonna snatch you up out of there and going on usher you right on in to your rightful place. Hardcore bondage. Let's continue. Let's continue. I'm gonna go back to Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah 50. Let's go back a chapter. Jeremiah 50, verse 24. Yet again, I have laid a snare for thee, thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art also found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord Yahweh. So the Lord has laid a snare for this devil. He has laid a snare for the destroying mountain that destroys all the earth, the power structure. And this devil is what is taken in that snare, is taken in that trap that the Lord has laid for this devil, and was not aware. And this devil is found and caught, because while he has been contrary, he has striven, fought against Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the Heavenly Father. He is going against the Lord. He's been going against the Lord and still is. I'm talking about going against the Lord so hard that the Lord said, okay, trap. The Lord done hit him with a Yu-Gi-Oh! Done hit him with a trap card. He doing all this crazy. And the Lord done hit him with a trap card, and the devil don't even know he done walked into the trap. That's why they can't get right. Let's continue. Let's go to Isaiah 14. It's Isaiah 14, verse 5. It says, the Lord Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. So the Lord has broken the staff, the power structure of Babylon, of Adawam in totality. He's taking their power, their scepter, their rulership. That's why they can't get nothing in order. Let's continue. Verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindered. So, this devil he smites the earth, the people of the earth, Salakia, in wrath. He caused all kind of problems when they don't want to do what he want to do. What he do all kind of crap to them, economic war and so forth and so forth, and all them other different tricks that this devil used. Ruling the nations anger. Well, guess what? Now this devil is persecuted. Now these other nations see that this devil is slipping and sliding and can't get his footing. Guess what? This devil is being persecuted by Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, and none hindereth. These other nations ain't stepping up like, hey, let's do this. Let's stop Babylon. They ain't nobody offering the helping hand. Nobody. At this point, it's like if there is anything being done with America, it's all about money. That's all it is. So let's continue. Verse 9. It says, hell from beneath is moved to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It has raised up from their thrones, Salakia, all the kings of the nations. So hell, judgment, destruction is moved from beneath to meet this devil at his coming, meaning everything is getting ready. The Lord is getting everything ready, Salakia. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even the chief ones of the earth. The Lord is getting everything stirred up. This judgment is bringing these other rulers up out their thrones and getting them ready to put the flurry on this devil, to put the flurry on Big Satan, aka Babylon. And ain't nothing this devil can do about it. Verse 10. It says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? So these other nations like, what y'all done became like us now? Aisha, Babylon, you weak like us now, huh? How you done became desolate and weak and lowly like us? You know, verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy viols, the worms is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. So this devil's pomp, his confidence, his pride, his hubris has been brought down to the grave. Meaning the Lord is like really taking this devil down notch by notch, little bit by little bit. His pomp has been brought down. The noise of his viols is just all the, we'll say, the tumultuous noises and all the other things that were once looked at as good here. It's gone. It's over with. The worm is spread under this devil. The worm has covered this devil, i.e., the grave, destruction, judgment. Let's continue. Verse 12. It says, How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation? So how you fallen, Isha, Adawan, son of the morning? You know, they claim that they have the light because they're, you know, W-ite, you know. But now they've been cut down to the ground. The Lord is taking that power. This is why these devils can't get nothing going on. And this devil, of course, you know, this devil weakened the nations, causing all kind of problems. This is back at Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, through prophecy. That is how. Once upon a time, Babylon was the hammer of the whole earth, smashing and breaking and hitting everything. Now that same hammer is now broken, weakened. This place is going to become what? A desolation. Has become, will become. And we're seeing it in real time. I'm at 37 minutes. Let's continue. Last point. Well, not my last point, but second to last point. This is Obadiah, verse 1. It says, the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, let us rise up against her in battle. So this is that message. That messenger has been sent, what? Concerning Edom. And this is the scripture. So God darn your algorithm, Esau. This is in the Bible. The Lord called you Edom. So the what? We've heard a rumor from the Heavenly Father Yahweh, and an ambassador, a messenger, has been sent among the heathen, sent to this devil to let him know it's a wrap. And for these other nations to come up against this place, rise up against this place in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, Salakia, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? So the Lord has made this devil small and greatly despised among the heathens. The pride of this devil's heart has deceived him, having him thinking that, oh, we can do this, we can bounce back, we can still use the same military strength that we always use. No, the battle, what it is, the battlegrounds, the active war, all that is changed. It's evolving very quickly, and this devil can't keep up. But this devil always thought that because he dwells high in the clefts of the rock, because once upon a time they did dwell in a place where it was on a plateau and they couldn't be attacked. So this devil started becoming prideful. Guess what? Babylon, America simulates that. This devil think that he can't be attacked, that he won't be attacked because he's surrounded by water on three sides. That plateau, thinking, nobody can get to me. No, well, that's why it says the pride of his heart has deceived this devil. He think his habitation is high. He think that he can't be brought down to the ground. Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh. So this devil exalt himself, put himself up on high. He got his space stations, he got his satellites, he got his airplanes, he got his jets right here. Everything that this devil has done, he's up to the stars. The Lord says, I'm gonna bring you down. I'm gonna smack you down. You ever been in the room and you hear a bug or you see a mosquito and you slap it and you watch it go down? Well, that's what the Lord gonna do to this devil. Smack him down. And we're watching the waning strength of Babylon. Oh man, I'm at 40 minutes. Okay, let me hurry up. Last point. Psalms 33. This is Psalms 33, verse 16. It says, there is no king saved by the multitude of an host. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength. And horse is vain. And horse is a vain thing for safety. Neither shall he deliver any by his great strength. So there is no king, no man saved by a great multitude of a host, an army. And as you can see, Big Satan, Babylon, think that it can rely on its host, its army. But the Lord says no king is saved by a multitude of an host, nor is a mighty man delivered by his much strength. Esau pride himself in his strength and being able to do what he do. Well, he's not going to be delivered by that. This devil, he takes pride, and again, in his horses, his army, his vehicles, his weapons. Guess what? It's a vain thing. It's a vain thing for safety, and it's not what? It's not going to deliver. It's not going to be a protection when the Lord brings his judgment. So this devil's strength that he's relying on, it ain't going to save him from the Lord bringing his judgment to him. And we can already see it right now in real time. So yeah, the waning strength of Babylon. And with that, Shalom.